Alright everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the Jordan Report, and I'm your host, Robert Jordan. Please like, subscribe, and share. Alright, I just want to go over some articles just over the last few days concerning the mass shootings that occurred. And it's just like an illustration of how the rhetoric has been elevated by the left. Very bad language, very dangerous language, and yes, some threats. Now we're going to go through this one here. This is a very this is a quick article here on Reza Aslan. I don't pay any attention to CNN or any of these people, but I'm just reporting this. This came up in alternative news, Breitbart. Reza Aslan calls Kellyanne Conway the evil we need to eradicate. This is a CNN anchor. Now, that's the only reason I'm reporting this is because these people are always holding the right accountable for everything that they say, and if they say anything, then they want them fired and all the rest of that stuff. It doesn't happen on the left. But anyway, what he tweeted was, from his verified account, Aslan responded with a tweet that said, "You are the deprived evil we need to eradicate." When he was called out and demanded eradication of a human being, Aslan changed the subject. So that's just one of these things. He just retweeted. So then when Kellyanne said we need to eradicate this evil, she meant shoot it in the face. She was threatening the El Paso shooter. Why are we all so fucking fed up with your racist GOPers and your bad faith BS? Okay? That's what he said. I try not to curse, but yeah, that's what he said. So this is the language now. And this is just one thing that happened over the last few days. I got a few more articles I'm going to share with you. Here's another one. Joaquin Castro doubles down amid backlash over tweeting names of Trump donors. What he did was he voxed the names of the people who are Trump donors in his own district. That means he publicized their addresses, their businesses, how much money they donated to Trump in his own district. This is a congressman. Joaquin Castro, a Democrat congressman from Texas, and chairman of the presidential campaign, and his twin brother Julian, I didn't even know he had a twin brother till now. I was probably watching two of them, didn't know it. Fired back on Tuesday after being castigated on social media for tweeting the names and occupations of his constituents who maxed out their donations to President Trump. I mean, could you imagine doing that? His tweet contained graphic titled, "Who's Funding Trump?" A list of names of 44 people who purportedly contributed to the maximum amount allowed by campaign finance laws. Their occupations, which, like donor names, are public record, were also listed. Close to a dozen of the donors shown are retirees. Sad to see so many San Antonios as 2019 maximum donors to Donald Trump. Their contributions are fueling a campaign of hate that labels Hispanic immigrants as invaders. So you see what they're doing. They're targeting Trump's people. They're isolating Trump's people, and they're threatening Trump's people with violence. Okay, it's a form of political terrorism if you understand what's happening. Here's another article. This one just came out. Let me show you this one. It begins. This is Gateway Pundit. Death camps to all Trump supporters. Flyers posted in New York. This was August 7th. Flyers were posted on Tuesday calling for death camps to all Trump supporters. New York City is increasingly intolerant of conservative beliefs. It's a left-wing city. The left wants to, hear somebody tweeted, the left wants to commit genocide on Trump supporters. This is what they wrote. This is the pictures. Okay? You know, all these things alone doesn't mean anything. But when you add them all together and you put them with the media, you see that this is going a certain way. And it's coming from a certain direction. Okay? So I'm going to show you another one here. Here's Obama. This was the former president of the United States talking about the sitting president of the United States. Barack Obama blamed Donald Trump, guns, white supremacist websites for mass shootings. He's blaming this former president is blaming the sitting president for the shootings that just happened. He's not calling for unity. Okay? So I just want you to see all this stuff. Former President Barack Obama delivered a lengthy response to the dual mass shootings that killed 31 people in Texas and Ohio over the weekend. He blamed guns, white supremacist websites, and President Donald Trump's rhetoric for the ongoing violence in the United States. What has Trump said that could make somebody go out and shoot somebody? You can't find anything. But this is what they're doing. This is where all this is going. And let me say all this too. I have to put this out because I'm not making these videos to come to the defense of white people or white Americans. I want us to understand this. White Americans can and will defend themselves. I don't have to worry about them. They can take care of themselves. We're the ones that's having a problem understanding this and what's being said. All right, here's one clip here, and this is the last one here to show you the level of rhetoric and how far it's gone and what they're trying to do with this. You start talking like this, nothing good can come from this language. MSNBC host says Trump is talking about exterminating Latinos and faces brutal social media backlash. Let me see if I can get this thing to play. I always have trouble with the videos.
The last Republican president fought for, sought, and it's not ideal, but had 44% of Latino vote. It was so politically powerful inside the last Republican administration. President Obama used the power of the presidency to try to pass comprehensive immigration reform with the Latino community, Latino leaders at the table. You now have a president, as you said, talking about exterminating Latinos.
It's not even, to me, it's not even a question of what this president could do.
Talking about exterminating Latinos. I hope you heard that.
And it brings me no pleasure saying this. I just think with this administration, it is too late. And this goes, to me, it's not even a political question because Obama, George W. Bush, H.W., all of the presidents in modern history have made sincere outreach to Latinos, whether or not their views happen to align with mainstream Latinos. They wanted them in their party. They wanted their support. This president beats beyond like the slightest minimum modicum of respect, really virtually has no regard for our communities. And we see the way he's treated some of the most prominent people, some of the Latino achievers in this nation. So when I watch his speech and I hear these words, they strike me as utterly insincere, completely inauthentic. If you've paid 5 minutes worth of attention to Trump over the last few years, that's not who he is. That's just a...
The situation they're trying to set up is Trump supporters against everybody else. Trump and his supporters against everybody else. And Trump, remember, Trump has half the population. So they're literally pitting one half of the country against another. Nothing that can't end good. And so, especially when you're conducting this type of propaganda, and this will be the last clip that I play, because this one was really startling and frightening when you listen to how professional this man is. You could tell he knows what he's talking about and knows what he's doing, and listen to his language.
We have to understand the adversary and the threat we're dealing with. And if we don't understand how they think, we'll never understand how to...
The adversary and the threat we're dealing with.
Counter them. So it's the little things and language and messaging that matters. The president said that we will fly our flags at half-mast until August 8th. That's 8/8. Now, I'm not going to imply that he did this deliberately, but I am using it as an example of the ignorance of the adversary that's being demonstrated by the White House. The numbers...
The White House is the adversary. Listen to what he's saying.
8/8 are very significant in neo-Nazi and white supremacy movement. Why? Because the letter H is the 8th letter of the alphabet, and to them, the numbers 8/8 together stand for Heil Hitler. So we're going to be raising the flag back up.
Nothing he said was true, but he's just going on with the subject. Go ahead.
At dusk on 8/8. No one's thinking about this. No one's giving him the advice, or he's rejecting the advice. So understand your adversary to counter the adversary.
I know you're keeping your options open there, Frank, but as chilling as that is to hear, you're saying it is possible that someone who knows better is authoring or editing the words that show up and are read verbatim, or are supposed to be read verbatim, by the president.
I'm concerned about who is writing his script and his speeches, and what would fascinate me is what he's rejecting. So it's possible that several iterations of this speech were given to him, someone with expertise, and believe me, the expertise exists in our intelligence community and our law enforcement community and our civilian population on how to counter radicalization. So those folks could have advised him on writing an excellent speech that would have created an obstacle on this path to violence that we're on. But he either chose to not take that advice, or he's not even willing to solicit the advice.
All right, I just hope you guys see where this is going. This can't end well. When you're talking like this and at this level, people like Obama jumping in, instead of calming things down, getting the country together, you know, support the president, you know, like the things people would normally say. These people have declared war.